everyone, welcome to this week's newsletter. Just waiting eagerly for the return of someone very important to the Pro Shop that we've missed very much. There he is.
I'm back.
Lewis Scott has returned. How are you?
I'm good. Ready for
Come
action.
in. Back fully with the team. We're here after a little spell away.
Back in the avenue.
So I thought I'd dive back into the studio. We've been back this week coaching, club fitting, put many precautions in place to follow the England Golf and government guidelines. There's hazard tape in the studio, some of you would have already seen that. There's hand sanitizer stations outside, we're spraying the clubs, etc. So we're following all those guidelines to ensure you're safe and we're safe. Remember, if you haven't booked in for your session yet and you're trying to make a booking for a lesson or a club fitting, go over to the website www.barrymiddletonpga.co.uk. There's a tuition lesson link there. Click on that and the dates for June and July are available now. In other shop news, while we're talking about online, we've been working on our price checking and price matching service. So we've been looking into products that we stock in store and just seeing where our prices fall in line with the online market. Most recently, we've managed to get Garmin watches and Motor Caddy trolleys that have come out significantly cheaper than online. So what I would say is maybe before you look at an online purchase, just dive into us or contact us, and we may be able to investigate and match the price or even come out a little bit cheaper. Many of you have been in asking about the return of competitions and being able to submit cards for handicap purposes. We had a meeting the other night, the competition handicap committee, regarding some of those matters, and hopefully this Saturday I would say we may be able to roll out a friendly kind of stable for competition for both men and ladies integrated into one field to test some of the things we were discussing the other night. There will be guidelines for the competition in regards to bunkers and placing the ball in a bunker, and obviously not touching the flag sticks with the holes as set the way they are at the minute. One of the things we're going to try and test as well is the remote scoring facility that's offered through our electronic scoring system. The guidelines will be sent out and a link will be sent out to complete your scorecard after your round. We're trying to get some feedback to see if it works and it's feasible to use going forward. So for those of you playing Saturday, I know it may be slow, I know there's 4-ball golf on. If some of you would participate in that competition and test out the remote access, it would benefit all of us and help us make a few decisions going forward. So how often are we coming up short on the golf course with our approach shots when we're hitting our second or third shot? One of the things I see a lot, and 90% of the time when I'm playing golf with people, they take the club that is their absolute max yardage. So if they hit their 7-iron 150 yards and they're 150 yards out, they pick out their 7-iron straight away. Now, whoever you are, you're never going to hit the golf ball perfectly every single time. So what I want to try and talk about here is a way that you can maybe adapt your clubs and hit them a little bit further and a little bit shorter to adjust for those approach shots. So I'm left with about 140 yards from my approach shot here. I'm going to try and take a 9-iron. 9-iron for me is around 150 yards. I'm going to try and shake the ball left to right or fade the ball, hit the ball a little bit higher to take off a little bit of yardage on that golf club for me. Ways I'm going to do that, I might adjust and go down the handle a little bit. I'm going to certainly try and keep my body a little bit open and the club face open to the path. Try and keep creating that little bit more flight in the golf shot. I could also push the ball a bit further forward as well. They're all things that are going to take yardage off the club that I'm trying to hit. By contrast, I might try and hit a big wedge and put the ball a little further back, try and play a draw and go for a bit of power, but I think that option sometimes, when you try and hit the ball as hard as you possibly can and max out, you often lose your contact and your strike. So I'm going to try and hit the fade. So as I said, I'm going to hit my 9-iron to keep the ball a little bit further forward, grip down the club a little bit, try and keep that face open to the path. Not bad. Looks like it's middle of the green. So, have you returned to the golf course after the lockdown and you're feeling a bit rusty, or your game's drifted off a little bit from where it was pre-lockdown? If you're in that category and you feel you need to be sharpened up a little bit, why not apply to be our next project? We're looking for our next Andy Ruff project, Steve Poulter, Debbie Stubbs project. So they were all successful little projects that we rolled out, all made big improvements to their games and gone on to play better and lower their handicap. So we're looking for our next person to apply for that. So if you're interested in that, you can send me an email, you can click on the link in the newsletter, or you can come in the shop and have a chat with one of the team. The idea of the project is obviously to gain improvement on areas that you're finding weaknesses in your game, we will work with you free of charge for 2 months, and we will incorporate studio time, range time, on-course time. We will look at optimising your golf equipment. So there's quite a lot involved in it, but you have to have the time to be able to dedicate not just to the sessions, but to work on what we ask you to be doing from those sessions. So if you think you are in the category of being able to make a significant improvement and you need the help from us and you don't mind being in the spotlight with us, please apply now.